And here, we need to write to the contact person, maybe it's the CEO or the MD or the founder or whatever. That's the person we write to, the contact person in the company. And here, that's where the name of the contact person we go to. And this is where the information we go to, that information. Username and password we go to. And this is the schedule of the meeting. This is where it will go to. You know, we schedule a meeting. And you need to now mention the name of the company here. It is great working with so company. Okay. I'm going to take this down. Right? And I'm going to open to it again so that I'll be able to do it from scratch. I'll be able to open it from scratch. Okay. Okay. Right. Please look at it now. This is where the technicality lies. When you do this.
Excuse me, Mr. Okay, I can now see your screen.
Do this. Where you go to is that you have written your letter. This is your letter. But where you have the data, you are not going to put anything there because you want to merge your data to this letter. So you go to mailings. Look at the tab up there, mailings. And what you want to do is that you want to start a mail merge. You want to start a mail merge here. You drop it down, and because you are not yet an expert, you can allow the wizard to do it for you. Step-by-step mail merge wizard. If you're an expert, you'll be able to do for different letters, different mail, different envelope, labels, directory, and all of that. But let's start with step-by-step mail merge wizard. Once you click on it like that, it shows you this. And because we are working on letters, so we pick that. If you are working on email, you click on this. If you are working on envelope, label, directory, you click on the appropriate one here. Then you start it off like that. Now, you use the current document because we are using this document. Assuming you want to, you have different templates. You can start another template. Or if you are starting from existing document, you are working on this document. So we'll check on use the current document. Right? Aha. Okay. Now, you move on. This is where we have to be very careful because we need to now select our database because you want to fuse the database with this one. So you go to browse. You go to browse. And this is what I teach, I tell people when I teach them on how to mail merge. You create a folder. You put your letter, that is your document. Can that person mute the microphone, please? All right. I guess you can see the letter. So as I was saying, this is the third step. You need to look for the data, the database. And I'll go to browse. Look at it. I'll browse my computer, and the computer will take me to where the thing is. I place it on documents, this mail merge training folder. And this is where the data is. Let me enlarge it for you to see. This is where the data is. So the data is here. So I will click on it and open. So I will do OK. That's the data page. OK. So this is the database. This is the database. Remember, when I was showing you, this is the database. You just add it to it by doing OK. Okay. So with what I've done now, I've been able to merge those data with this letter. But I need to tell this document where each data we fix into. And that's why I'm going to be using this insert field. Look at it here, insert field. So what I want to do here is that I want to do, because that's the address of the client. So I'm going to do maybe to the CEO. So the first thing I'm going to look for there is status. I'll drop it down. I'll look for status. Status. And this is how it shows, because that's the name of the field. So, and if you want to see whether it is correct, you go to this preview result. Let me show you. Aha, it is correct. So to the MD, okay? The next thing is to select the company's name. I'll go to insert and I'll go to company. The MD, so company. Then I'll put a comma as you write your formal letter. Remember when you were being taught how to write your formal letter in secondary school. Then you will go to the city of the company, the city. And after that, you go to the country. Go to the country. That's it. So if you look at the preview, it will give you an idea of what you have done. So the MD, Jenin Ltd, Lagos, Nigeria. You can see it now. Now to show you that it has merged for everybody, you can use this tool to move to the second record. You can see the second record is the CEO, Lubanga & Co. Ltd, but this one is located in Ibadan. Why? Because you have merged the data to this document. The third record says the PA to CEO, Femi and Sons Ltd, Port Harcourt, Nigeria. The fifth one says this, and up to the third one. Okay, you can see. You can see all of that. You can see. Okay, so now, after you have done that, you now need to personalize the letter to the contact person in the company. You personalize it to the contact person. So that is where you go to the first name and the what? And the surname. But before that, you need to put the salutation first. Whether the person is a Mr. or Mrs. or Doctor, Chief, Mrs. or whatever. So what you do is that you go back to this insert merge field. So what I'm going to click here is what? The salutation. The salutation is whether you are a Mr. or you are a Miss, or you are this or you are that. After salutation, I'll pick what? The first name. And after that, I'll give a space. And finally, I'll put the surname. The surname. So you have to check this by going to preview. So you can see now, the MD, Jenny Ltd, the contact person for that company is Mr. John Akobondu. In the second company, which is Lubanga, the contact person there is Mr. Destiny Lubanga. The third company, you can see, we are writing to the secretary of that company, and the contact person is Ms. Oluwaseun Akeredolu. So you are trying to personalize it and customize it to the need of each company. Okay, now let's move on. I'm clicking off the preview. Now, what we want to send to them are their usernames and passwords. So here, you go back to the insert merge field and click on username. You know, we created a field in our database stating different usernames. And here, you click on insert merge field and go to password. So in that case, it is telling the document that go to the database and fetch appropriate username and password for different companies and different contact person. And we continue with that letter. It said, log into your account each time you need the access. In case you intend to have a formal meeting with us, it will be appropriate on, then you go to the dates. You go to the dates. It's not showing here. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with it. I didn't do it very well. Let's say, let me just put one date here. 2020. Okay, assuming you are calling all of them together. Okay, now it is great working with you, but you don't want to say it is great working with you. You want to personalize the company. So what do? You mail merge the name of the company so that they will know that you are thinking about them alone without knowing that you are doing a bulk thing. And thank you. This is Emmanuel. Okay. So if you want to see the first record, just click on the preview. You will see that everything is going to be done. But I want to bold all this essential field so that the reader will know that we are thinking about them. Because this is also an essential field, and this company is an essential field. Yes, I even want to introduce another thing. I want to write the country there. I want to write the country. I want to put the country. Jenny Nigeria, LTD Nigeria. Assuming that your company is writing to different companies all over the world, you need to put the country so that they feel comfortable, they feel at home. Then I want to go to this part and bold, make sure I bold the name of the company. Okay, we are done. So we are done with this letter. This is the letter. We are done with this letter. Don't forget what I said from the beginning, that once you are done with one, you are done with all. So this is the second letter. You can see that as you change it, it goes to the database to fetch the data, and it brings the data to this place so that the letters are fully customized. You can see that. You can see that. Okay. All right. Now, if you are a secretary here, if you are attending this and you are a secretary, you may not be sending a mail. They may just tell you to produce all the letters. So in that case, as you have gotten this, it will be easy for you to just generate all the letters at once. And if you want to print, want to do. As secretaries, you want to look at each one of them. If that is what you want to do, you click on this place. And once you click on this place, you pick the data. Maybe you want the first to the 9th record or to the 101 record, or whichever way. You click OK. Once you do that, it gives you all the letter in less than a second. So this is the letter for the first person. This is the letter for the second person. That's the letter for the third, and it goes on and on like that. So as a secretary, you can begin to print this one if you want to send hard copies to your customers or to your clients. So that is that. It gives you that. Okay. Another possibility is this. If you want to print it, you just click on this, and you can print to you can send to your printer the records. Maybe you want to print from 1 to 4, or from 1 to 8, or from 1 to 100, or from 1 to 1000. Anyone you want to do. Once your printer is set at the back of the computer, you can send it from here. You can send it from here, and it will go from 1 to 9, right? If you click here, it will go, because I'm not sending to the printer, so I'm not going to do that, right? Okay. The third possibility is to send email message. And this is where I want us to go to. This is where I want us to go to. Once you click on that, I need to say this to you at this junction. You must be sure that the email address of your client, your customer, or parents, if you work in school, or your people, if you are a secretary, if you're an executive, people you relate with, the email address of each of them must be present in your database. Because if it's not present, you won't be able to do that. So you are sending to the email address. It will go into the database to fetch that email address, and it will send this letter to the appropriate person. Let me say it again. In your database, if you want to send mails to your customers or your clients, your parents, or whichever way you want to do it, you must make sure that one of the fields is called email. And you need to put the email addresses of all the clients, all your customers there. So the second thing you do is to put the subject line, that is that caption you put on your email, that caption. So in this case, I want to say, this is your company's online credentials. That's like the title. Now we come to the mail format. Okay, the mail format. Okay, there are three types of mail format. Whether you want to make this document to appear like an attachment, or you want to do it as plain text, or you want to use HTML. For it to be very fast, I always advise people to use HTML. I advise people to use HTML. It delivers very fast. If you have like about 1,000, it does it in less than 10 minutes. If you have like 1 million, it does it in less than maybe 30 minutes. So once you do that, you just replicate what you have on your screen on individual email. And once you click OK, it will just go like that. So if I click OK like that, it will now go and look for my, sorry, let me pull this up. It will go and look for my Outlook. Okay, it's trying to, so you can see, it's sending it already. You can see. It has gone to look for my Outlook and it's sending it already. It has sent all the nine things. If I want to resend it again, I can click here, send email message. Maybe in case I'm not sure they got it. And I click here, look at it. You can see it is sending it to them because I've put the email address. So it's done. It's done with everything. So 9 records, about 2 or 3 seconds. It's done with everything. So that is just how to get it done. I'm going to recap now, and in 4 minutes time, I will stop. Okay? As I said from the beginning, this is just a skill that you should use to do what? That's it. That's my Outlook. So it has sent it from there. Okay? You need the document where you put your letter, and you need to create space for where you are going to plug in your data. You create your database and you merge both of them together. And when you merge both of them together, you can do the necessary setup on your document, and you go to the end of the mail merge and either print to the printer, or you create different letters, or you send by email. If you need to send by email now, and in 4 minutes time, I will stop. Okay? As I said from the beginning, this is just a skill that you should use to do what? That's it. That's my Outlook. So it has sent it from there. Okay? You need the document where you put your letter, and you need to create space for where you are going to plug in your data. You create your database and you merge both of them together. And when you merge both of them together, you can do the necessary setup on your document, and you go to the end of the mail merge and either print to the printer, or you create different letters, or you send by email. If you need to send by email, you must be sure that you create on the database the email addresses of the customers. If you don't do that, it won't be able to go. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I need to tell you that I do customized training. If you need to engage me, I do all of that. But before we end this, I'm going to share with you